Susul. Important news break from Team Cowplant. Okay, so this week, we just wanted to let you guys know you will not be hearing our voices. It's going to be Team Llama for their beautiful death-themed episode in honor of Halloween. Spooky!
Ooh, so spooky. So normally it would be us, Vanity, Marissa, and Ava this week, but we needed to switch over to Team Llama because they have the ever so important death episode, as Vanity said. So next week it will be Team Cowplant again, and we'll be talking about our favorite builds. But we did want to kind of come in here and introduce kind of what was going on. But also, we also wanted to share some really exciting news with you guys.
Yeah, exciting. I'm super excited.
So exciting. So, as you guys heard last week, Jane mentioned the English Simmer and her amazing story that she's playing out right now belong there. And so one of our amazing fans named DMU Girl 2008, she actually reached out to English Simmer and told English Simmer about the podcast. And English Simmer tweeted out to us and told us that she had just started listening, which is so exciting.
Super excited. There's not enough GIFs and emojis for like the squealing that I did, and I'm not going to do it because it's loud. Just know it happened. Just literal screaming.
just screaming. Yeah, we were amazed. Yeah, because a lot of us here, us speaking as the hosts, but also us behind the scenes, we're all total sim fanatics. We follow tons of YouTubers, and to have English Simmer, be watching, and listening to
and know that we exist. Let's just back up for a minute. She knows that we exist. Holy crap balls, y'all. Take a moment, let that sink in, turn it on, and be like, what?
Oh,
I know. I don't tweet, but I heard that tweeting is a thing that you young kids do. I don't do these things. I don't know how to tweet. I'm old, remember? You covered this in episode 1.
Young kids.
So that's basically kind of what we wanted to do. We wanted to say thank you so much just for listening and telling people about it, and tell everyone about it so everyone can know. And sit back, relax, grab a grilled cheese, and listen to the death episode. It's going to be great. Happy Halloween!
Awesome. Happy Halloween, guys.
Susul.
Welcome to Under the Plumb Bob, the podcast about all things related to the EA Maxis series of games called The Sims. We avoid the real world by talking about our made-up ones. Each episode will focus on one of several rotating themes, including building, gameplay, lore, and more. I'm Roxy, the host today with Team Llama, and I'm here with Rebecca and Melly. Introduce yourselves for a sec.
Hey guys, I'm Melly. Been killing Sims since February of 2000.
Awesome.
And I'm Rebecca. I've been playing Sims since the first game. I'm currently playing the Build New Crest challenge, which is quite interesting. But I've just finished the Asylum challenge, which was very deathy.
That's awesome. Yeah, the only challenge I've managed to complete is the Asylum challenge. Somehow no one died.
Oh my god, I got to 10, I think. I had to keep adding people.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds very interesting.
Oh, yeah. So the Asylum challenge is you create 8 Sims and you can only control one of them.
A lot of people die.
Yeah, for some people, the death toll gets pretty high. Speaking of death, this episode, we're going to be talking about everyone's favorite NPC, the Grim Reaper. and all the various deaths that can befall or be inflicted upon your Sims. In future episodes, we'll have other topics about gameplay and other aspects of The Sims, and you can tell us what you want to hear at undertheplumbobpodcast@gmail.com. So I have a little story to tell. It's just really quick. So I sleep with my daughter a lot. She's 8, and she just is a mama's girl.
Mm-hmm.
And this morning she got up before me, and we live in this house we rent, and the people who used to live here had little boys, like under 4, and they had the doorknobs turned backward because I guess they locked them in at nap time or bedtime or something like that.
Wow.
And we just never turned them around. So I would get up and try to leave the room in the morning, and the door's locked, and I can't unlock it because it's turned around.
That is my idea of the bad play.
It was crazy because I have like a little bit of a phobia about that, and then had to call my husband and say, "Can you come let me out of the room?" And I was like, "I feel like a Sim. I feel like I've been locked in a room to die."
Did you have a fireplace in there? Some carpet?
No, just no food. So I would have been embarrassed and shortly starved to death. Apparently, my 8-year-old is not going to be afraid to kill Sims like my 11-year-old is.
She'll be the one who uses like the extreme violence mod to kill everyone.
I wouldn't put it past her. Right now, she's just into pranks, but yeah. So anyway, let's see. There's like 4 deaths that I could figure out that are common to all 4 versions of The Sims, and that was starvation, fire, electrocution, and drowning. And drowning's like the most popular.
Yeah, and obviously after Sims 1, old age is in all of them.
Right. I'm like, how did they not have that in The Sims 1?
Yeah, because it was 3 life cycles and that was it. You get to stay an adult forever.
Yeah, I'm like, what just happens? You just turn it. I guess they didn't have elders. That's what it was.
No, crazy.
I didn't get to play the Sims one, so it's kind of hard to imagine.
Yeah, I think I found it recently somewhere and it was just like, why are you not aging? Why are you going to work every day? I'm so stressed.
The never-ending treadmill.
Those were simpler times.
Or harder times.
Before workers' rights.
Yeah. But I do know, like, just looking up recently the different deaths, I completely forgot about, I think it was from the Magic expansion pack with the toadification, where if your sim got turned into a toad, it could get eaten by, I think it was a cat and a dragon.
Oh my gosh.
So your sim would, like, die, but sadly, Grim wouldn't turn up. But I just think that is such an insane way to die.
Yeah, that must have been, I was watching some videos about the different deaths, and that must have been the one that there was like a dragon and it ate something. I thought it ate a cat, but I guess it ate a toad.
Yeah, it was just like looking through them, there's just some weird deaths.
Oh yeah, they really put some creativity into this. What's with the dragon though? Like, it was so cute.
Yeah, poor baby.
They don't have them anymore, I guess.
I think personally my favorite has always been the cow plant death. I don't know why, but I love seeing them eat people. Especially those pesky neighbors that won't leave your lawn. Like, leave, please.
Yeah. It's hard to get them to eat the cake these days in the Sims 4.
You say that, but one of my asylum deaths was from the cow plant. So it does still happen.
I always have to control mine to get them to die by cow plant.
No, it just some reason really took a shine into it and wouldn't leave it alone.
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
So I think there were 9 deaths in The Sims, at least up to the Make and Magic expansion. And then we get to like 20 to 25 deaths in each other version of The Sims. Probably because they got to lots more expansion packs in them.
Or one of the creators was like, so how can I kill these people easier and like more ways?
Maybe had a thing about true crime documentaries and was like, that's what I'm going to add in next time.
That's so funny. It does say in The Sims 3, somebody said you could kill by murder and execution.
I think it was medieval pack.
Okay, that must be it.
Yeah, it was something like that. I do remember. Yeah, The Sims Medieval. You could get killed by an executioner.
Oh my gosh.
Dark. That's really dark for The Sims.
Honestly, it's like duels, they can poison each other. There's an executioner, and you can also jump into a pit and lose a fight. That is really dark.
Yeah, I put in the vending machine, even though that falls under blunt force trauma, because it's just so funny. I never had that pack, though. Or if I did, it wasn't... I'm trying to remember. I had The Sims 2, and then I had Sims 2 University. But I didn't really know about death or challenges when I played The Sims 2, and then I took a long break.
Yeah, I think, wasn't that to do with... I think the vending machine was from the University pack.
It was.
And then they would, like, try and get free food, and it would kill them.
But that was in The Sims 3, which I never had.
In real life.
Oh no, Melly! Watch out!
Any free food.
Let's confiscate all her spare change. Oh wait, it's trying to cheat the vending machine. That wouldn't help. Oh my gosh. So I think it's funny that the guinea pig makes you sick and you can die from that.
Yeah, isn't that still a thing?
Yeah, rabid rodent fever. Well, they have different small pets in The Sims 4, but it started with the guinea pig in Sims 1.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared about the rodents in Sims 4. I've not quite used them yet.
I think they're cute.
Yeah, but like, do you have a type of death that just really annoys you and you're kind of a little bit like, you deserve that?
Vampires.
Yeah.
I've had so many vampires in The Sims 4 just like stand there and burn to death. And I'm like, can you not, please?
Yeah, it's all when the Sims decide to go outside and it's the summer and in the winter clothing, but they won't get back inside. And you're like, well, you kind of deserve that. You're in a big jumper and it's boiling. You deserve that. But it annoys me at the same time.
For sure. Have you tried to befriend the Grim Reaper?
I've tried to have a relationship with him, which is annoying because then I just have to keep killing people to get him to come back.
Aw, that's kind of romantic.
Yeah, isn't that like the psychopath test? Slightly worrying. Now I think about it, because it's like, oh, you're at a funeral and there's this hot guy. What do you do to get to see him again? And if you're a psychopath, you answer, you kill someone else. So there's another funeral and he turns back up, which is basically what I was doing with the Grim Reaper.
I see nothing wrong with that. No. In The Sims.
Yeah, I don't do it in real life.
That would be very turning.
I think if you play The Sims, you have to have a little bit of psychopath tendencies.
Oh, for sure. I don't think I know anyone that just plays The Sims to be normal.
No.
You have to be a little bit crazy to like the game.
Yeah, I downloaded the extreme violence mod because Vlad was getting on my nerves, constantly turning up every night. So I staked him Buffy style.
Oh,
sweet.
Just to get rid of him.
That would be kind of fun, playing Buffy and just staking vampires.
Yeah. But I was just like, I'm sick. It's every night he's turning up. I don't know how else to get rid of him without being a murderer. So I turned into a murderer.
I tried to kill a vampire. I did there's a challenge called what do they call it? Like the Necronomicon, only Simronomicon. I can't talk. Oh my god.
There's too many challenges.
Simchronomicon. Anyway, what is it called? I forget what the challenge is called because I'm an idiot. And the 13 Souls challenge. And like a million people have already been screaming that. But yeah. And one of the people I picked till was a vampire. And I literally couldn't kill them. I had to start over because they wouldn't starve. They wouldn't burn. I was like, I literally don't know how to kill this person without installing a mod. It was disappointing.
Yeah. Isn't there like the Black Widow challenge as well, where you have to kill a lot of people? Like you marry them and then have to kill them.
Yeah, I'm doing a modified version of that where I'm just playing like the 100 Babies / Black Widow challenge where I don't have to marry them, but I have to get pregnant and then kill them and then try to have 100 babies. So that's like a lot of people.
Oh my
to
god,
kill.
I'm still playing that next.
It's kind of fun. I made Cassandra Goth the founder, and so she has the evil trait because she starts as a teenager. So I was like, okay, she'll become an adult, a young adult, get the evil trait, and then I'll move out of her family. Except I'll kill her dad, and he was the first person I killed. So Mortimer went down into the sauna because I was like, let me test my sauna, make sure it's working. Because I put a basement on the goth house. It's all crazy. And the goth house is terrible for toddlers. I haven't gone back because I've got like 4 toddlers and I'm like, I can't deal with this. But I had Bella move back in to help because she's good. So I thought she could be the good influence on the children while Cassandra can be the evil influence, and we'll have a GBE kind of thing going on.
Yeah, I think I moved them into like the expensive flat in San Machino, or however you pronounce it, which was quite interesting.
So Melly, tell us a death story.
Well, I think my greatest accomplishments was The Sims 3, the university pack. You know how you would live in like dorms? I would have daily parties, and as the guests were downstairs hanging out, I would take one upstairs, lock him in a room, and just to let him die. And this would be a daily occurrence, and so there was no one left.
Oh no.
It was honestly the greatest thing. Very like time consuming, but it was worth it.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Did you keep the ghosts afterwards?
Oh yes, there was like little the little, what are they called? Where you put the ashes in?
The urn, yeah.
The urn, they were everywhere. They did not get cleaned up. They just stayed there.
Oh, I have to say that's another thing I'm cheating, where I'm having Cassandra release all the spirits because I just don't want to deal with ghosts breaking everything.
Yeah, some of them break and some of them help. Some of them will like look after a baby, which is great, and then others will destroy everything.
I have ones that'll go in, destroy everything, and then fix it. Like, why?
That is some serious paranormal business.
Paranormal, like passive aggressiveness. Let's see. So what do you guys feel about ghosts, since we're on the topic? They were introduced in The Sims 2, and they were kind of the same in The Sims 2 and 3. They had different like colors depending on how they died. And then in The Sims 4, they have some physical differences, but the colors change based on the actual ghost's actual emotion, which is pretty cool.
I am okay with the ghosts, especially the ones that like clean for you and do everything that you don't want to do. Like if those ghosts would come into my life and like help me out in real life, I'd be okay with it.
Do all the dishes for you.
Exactly.
Fix some shit.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I like them if they can help. But I pretty much will deal with them for a few days and then I'll get sick of it and just release the spirit. Mostly just because I don't like them also scaring the Sims. I think that's very much toned down with Sims 4. But it's just like, it's quite annoying. Or if you have a husband die, and don't they lose quite a lot of the relationship? So it's almost like you have to start again. Or did they fix that?
No. I know you get really sad.
Yeah, but I just remember, I think like some people seem to have a relationship with the ghosts once have died and some people have lost it. So I don't know if my game's just very glitchy or if it's something that I've missed in a patch update.
I've never killed my husband before, so I wouldn't know.
We're so crazy. I did one challenge where like she married an older Sim and then he died and she begged for him to come back and the Grim Reaper let him come back. And after that, he like always had this like cold breath. It just looked like he was outside in the cold all the time. It was so weird. And then when he finally died, I would like let him stick around, but he would keep breaking and fixing things.
Maybe he came back, but like half ghost.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I could never get that to
I don't
work.
know. I just got lucky, I guess.
Or when it's like plead for the Sims when the Grim comes. That never
worked. It worked that one time. It was so weird.
Yeah, I think I saw a stat. It was like, I think it's like 1 in 3 times it's meant to work. And it changes slightly depending on relationships or if you've got the death flower or anything.
I downloaded a lot once that had death flower plants on it. And I was like, this feels like cheating. I didn't do anything to earn these.
Yeah, I think I got some from the Patchy.
Oh, neat.
So I was like, yes, I got that and a cow plant from him. So I was happy.
Well, Patchy, dang. He's really paying off in your game. I haven't played with Patchy yet. He kind of freaks me out.
Like, it's helpful unless you're trying to get up the gardening skill because he does everything for you.
Yeah.
So you just kind of gain it from harvesting, which takes forever.
You can read books too.
True. That's annoying. That's not so fun.
I did a series of Hunger Games challenges in The Sims 3 before I totally converted over to The Sims 4. And that was interesting. I have the Supernatural pack and the Pets pack. And so there would be zombies all the time. And occasionally, like a random person would die by zombies on my lot. And I wouldn't be able to do anything until they finished dying.
Wow.
Although I kept trying to get abducted by aliens, and I just think that I didn't have the right pack to get abducted by aliens. It's so hard when you're trying to pay and you don't have the right pack.
Yeah, it's just like different things. I think different packs bring like different probabilities. Mm-hmm. But I get so annoyed with the text messages in Sims 4.
Yes.
And it's just like, I spoke to them once and now they're going to be sad for a full day.
Somebody made a mod for that, but then all the mods are going to be unscripted soon, so.
I have so many.
But that's a spoiler for the news. Although we kind of touched on that in a previous episode.
Yeah, but it's just like, I think the sadness interaction is too long for my liking.
I think most emotions are too long in The Sims 4.
Yeah, they're very intense.
Too much.
I'm bipolar. I can't stay one mood for too long. That's not how it works in real life.
Yeah, but I think, it's true. Like, I think when you look at it, you get certain emotions for, like, the morning one for 3 days, which if you put, like, Sims time into, like, a lifetime, that's a long time.
Yeah, I don't know how long a day is supposed to be. My seasons are, like, 7 days long. but I don't know what that translates to.
Yeah, it's almost like Queen Victoria, who like mourned for the rest of her life. I feel like The Sims can be like that at times. I'm just going to cry in my bed all the time.
Aww. There are ways to work down your emotions, though, and those are usually effective to some degree.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad at using like the test and cheats make happy just to like reset it.
Oh yeah, that works really well too. And the Moodlet Resolver potion, I love that one.
Just is a need. But what is, do you think, the largest amount of deaths you've kind of had in like one save?
Oh, that's a good question.
I can start with mine if you want, so you can have a thing. Yeah, so it was kind of what I mentioned at the beginning, which was probably the Asylum Challenge that I've literally just finished. And it was just, you kind of aren't meant to replace them.
Right.
But when you've only got 8 playable slots and all 7 of them die apart from yourself, I feel like I needed to add other Sims to it. And then another 3 of them died, but it was just I think I had 4 Sims die in one day.
Oh my gosh.
And I was just like, what are you doing? Just eat, sleep, go to the toilet, don't stand outside in the boiling hot weather. Just, can you not somewhat look after yourself? And I didn't get rid of the ghost because I thought that would be really good to add to like the gameplay. So they were just destroying everything, and they wouldn't have a shower for 3 days.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it's interesting. Once you have like a lot of ghosts or deaths, you're just like, oh, I need to add others.
So I'm wondering if we can kill the entire Sims world. Is that a thing?
But you have to have one Sim in your household.
Okay, well, other than a playable Sim, like just to wipe out the entire population.
I think we've come up with a new challenge.
I'm very intrigued. Is this doable? I kind of want to do it now.
I know what I'm going to play tomorrow.
And do it without the extreme violence mod.
Okay, I won't cheat.
That would be really hard. Oh, we could try that and then like report back how many we've killed in a week.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I might do it with Bella Goth.
Oh my gosh. Perfect.
I feel like she could secretly go around and kill everyone.
So does she go around inviting people, like trying to get invited into their homes so she can get access to their whole family, or does she have to get the person to ask to move in with her?
I feel like the goth house feels like it could be a murder house.
Mine is.
Oh, for sure.
It has that feeling.
Oh yeah, mine has gotten 5 deaths when the one I was the 100 babies goth, that Black Widow challenge I was talking about, because she killed Mortimer. Yeah. And she's just had her 4th baby, so that's 5.
Yeah, I think I saw someone once who was like, they wanted to make a cemetery, and I don't think it came with one. I can't remember which game it was for, so they kind of just kept bringing people on lot and killing them. But the sim that was there ended up getting driven insane by all the ghosts that were on the lot, so their playable sim actually died.
Oh. That was probably back when you could be scared to death.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was just like they couldn't sleep because they were just constantly... I think it was 3. Didn't the ghost used to like jump out of the bed and scare Sims that were asleep?
I think there was definitely a scare feature.
Yeah, it was very like poltergeisty.
Oh my gosh.
Rather than a ghost.
So apparently you can't have the Grim Reaper move in with you except by cheating.
No, and just a warning to everyone, unless it's Sims 4, you can add him to your game, but if it's any other version of The Sims, it will corrupt the game, and to the point sometimes where you'd have to completely uninstall everything and add it back on. So anyone playing the earlier versions of The Sims, be very careful.
I've learned that the hard way. It was bad. It was really bad. You lose like your saves, all your hard work. So just don't.
Yeah, just a little warning.
PSA.
But yeah, Sims 4, fine, add him, because I think they like spawn another version of him.
Yes.
But earlier versions, it's not a good idea.
So what do you think is the Grim Reaper's astrological sign?
For me, he would probably be a Scorpio.
I was thinking Scorpio or Sagittarius.
Yeah, and I'm saying that as a Scorpio. Very passionate, but very dark at the same time. And mood swing, because he can be very loving towards pets, but then doesn't care if he kills other Sims.
He's just doing his job.
Yeah, just gets on with it. So I do think very Scorpio.
What about you, Melly?
I relate to the Reaper a lot, so I'm gonna go with Pisces.
Oh, cool! Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's very fishy, in my opinion. So
I hear that a lot about Pisces. My dad's a Pisces.
Yeah.
So it turns out,
or a Gemini.
What?
Or a Gemini.
Oh, yeah, two-faced and like
yeah,
not two-faced, but like dual personality kind of.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out, according to Maxis, he's a Cancer,
which makes no sense.
Not really.
If you do a quick Google about star signs, no, he's meant to be like attached to people.
Yeah.
Sympathetic, sensitive, emotional.
Family-oriented.
Yeah. I imagined he'd probably kill all his family.
According to the Sim Wikipedia, Cancer and their definition is there is nothing extreme about cancers. They are very balanced. They can also be very changeable, which can be good or bad depending on the situation. How is that the Grim Reaper?
That sounds more like a Libra.
Yeah, I think they just made it up. They were just like, we'll keep the names and change all the traits.
Yeah, I do get that feeling like they're not really into astrology, but I do kind of miss having that feature in The Sims.
Yeah, I did like this kind of little extras, like what is their favorite meal or music.
I think they still have those traits, and if you like do some sort of cheats, you can find out.
Yeah, but you can't pick them, which I kind of miss.
And I'm like, that's some advanced cheating that I don't feel like doing.
But there is the thing that in Sims 2, he possibly has a child.
Yeah, do tell about that.
So I think it's in Strange Town. You have Olive Spectre, who he supposedly had a relationship with, and the child ended up being Nervous Subject, who then ended up living with another family. I might have to have a quick search of which family it was.
I think we're going to do a whole episode on Strange Town, which means I should probably go play in it because I didn't know any of this.
Yeah, like sometimes I used to play the games and I didn't kind of pick up on the background, and then now since we've done this and I am a part of the research team, there's so much that I've learned. Oh, he lives with the Beaker family and he basically gets tortured by them.
Oh no.
I think he's kept in almost the basement.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, because the Beakers are kind of the seen as like a mad scientist couple.
Oh my gosh.
And he moved in with them while he was a child. So very much. Oh, yeah, it says here, he lacks most of his mother's genetics, and it is clear he is simply just a clone of the Grim Reaper.
Oh my gosh.
So if you look at him, he's exactly what the Grim Reaper is in Sims 2.
Imagine going to school with a mini Grim Reaper. He can't have friends or anything. He'll just kill everyone by touching them.
Oh no.
No, not a good thing. His aspiration is family though.
He's a Cancer. No.
Aquarius.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it is very strange that you actually can't. You can kind of have a relationship with him, but if you tried to play with it alongside him, you wouldn't be able to have a baby with him. But in game, they have kind of created this family tree almost.
Yeah. Is that only in The Sims 2?
Only in The Sims 2. I don't think that family turns up in 1 or 3. Oh, he does turn up in the Sims store from Sims 3, Nervous Subject. Because Sims 3 in the timeline is before Sims 2.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've mentioned this. So the games actually go 2, 3, 1 in timeline, and then season 4 is kind of a alternative universe.
Oh my gosh. I still can't wrap my head around that.
So just thought I'd add this in episode 3, just so anything that we kind of mention going forward is going to make a little bit of sense how kind of the ages seem to be all over the place with 1, 2, 3.
Which version of the Grim Reaper is your favorite? So there's the Sims 1, where he's pretty plain, I guess, and then he leads your lot immediately. And then the Sims 2, he's got that, I can't remember. He gets on his phone, but he hangs around after he reaps the soul. And then The Sims 3, he's more ominous, and he does weird chanting over the body, but then he hangs around after he does his job. And then the one in The Sims 4, he gets on the tablet. And then there's a couple other ones, but I never played with, the medieval one had a red cloak and wings. And there's apparently the Grim Reaper in The Sims 2 for Nintendo DS had a brown duster jacket and a cowboy hat. And he reaped the souls with a sack instead of a scythe, which sounds really funny.
That just sounds strange. I think I saw as well, you can get him with a flower necklace.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, I don't know what made that happen.
Yeah.
Even death needs a vacation sometimes.
Did he do that when you reaped somebody who died of old age and had reached their aspiration?
The aspiration to go on a cruise around the world.
Yes.
Don't know. There's so many mysteries.
I think to me, the original Grim looks really creepy, where you can see the skeleton. That is really creepy. But I don't know. I kind of get, this probably sounds weird, I get a comical feel from the Grim in Sims 3.
Yeah, I mean, even though he's woo, it's sort of okay. And he stops floating after he does his job, right? He kind of settles on his feet and he's well, I'll just hang out and do some dishes or read a book.
Yeah, he just chills and steals things and plays. So I think they made him a little bit more comical in 3.
One time he left behind a book and it was empty.
Oh, that's something I'd hear on and that's why we drink.
Nope, that's a different one.
But yeah, it is fun. How about you, Melly?
I personally liked The Sims 3 death interactions way more than 4. I think in general, Sims 3 was very well-rounded compared to 4. It was very more interactive, and I enjoyed The Sims 3 still to this day.
A lot of people do. We have a very strong Sims 3 community.
Yeah, I re-downloaded it and I got really excited. I forgot how good it was.
I was trying to talk my husband into letting me buy The Sims 2, but I couldn't come up with a good reason why I needed it.
Yeah, I've got a Mac, so I've kind of got that weird ultimate collection, which isn't an ultimate collection. It's like a half collection. But I mean, I still like playing with some of the the Romeo and Juliet lore and stuff like that.
I'm a huge Romeo and Juliet fan, so I'm like, oh, I could do that. I never played with the NPCs. I didn't even think about it. I was like, oh, you make a character and then you play your family, and that's what you do with The Sims.
Did you guys hear that pretty soon you won't be able to get The Sims 2 Ultimate Collection from EA anymore?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, EA made a statement about it because too many people have been trying to get the game for free. So they're over it. They're not helping anymore.
Yeah, I did hear a lot of recommendations that you could just go there and tell them you don't have the discs anymore and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's going to backfire.
Well, they gave it away for free for a while because I know I downloaded it on Origin because it was like, it's for free. And then I downloaded it and realized I had a Mac and it was only the Windows version. But I think that was only for a few weeks, maybe a year ago. But it's so old now. I do feel a little bit like with the older games, could they not just give it away for free?
Yeah, I do wonder, when I look at the Sims 3 stuff, I'm like, I want to buy this pack, but it's still full price.
Well, Target's having a sale right now. I don't know if it's all Targets or if there's Target where you guys are at, but a lot of them are $5 right now.
We don't have Target here.
Yeah,
oh no.
Oh, that's right. You're from London.
Yeah, I live in London, and everything there's a lot of times where EA will be like, we have this deal on. So I'm trying to slowly collect all the expansion packs for Sims 3. And I'm like, yeah, I'll go and get one. And it's full price over here still.
Yeah, but Target and EA have a deal that they do get the really good half price deals with their stuff.
You can get stuff cheaper at Target than the actual Origin website, which is kind of annoying sometimes.
I never even thought about looking there. I should do that. I love Target. Not an ad.
I will say when I've been to America, I have spent hours in there.
Although they redesigned mine recently, and it looks more like a Kmart or a Walmart inside now. And I'm like, bummer.
And I'm not here for it.
Me either. Let's design our old-fashioned Targets and put them in The Sims. Oh, so I have to tell this story because it combines shopping in The Sims and death. So I'm trying to make this video, and I don't know if I'm going to finish it, but I had to have them, baby. So I had the girl get pregnant, get married, and she went out shopping with her mom. And I was like, oh, this will be a nice way for them to bond before the baby comes. And while they're out shopping, the mom drops dead. And I'm like, this is the most traumatic thing ever now.
Why did she die?
She was old. She was an elder, but I didn't think she was that close to the end, and she just dropped dead. I was like, well, I didn't expect that to happen. And so all the people at the store were standing around, and one of them was standing there thinking about trash bags. And I was like, is he a serial killer? What is going on?
Oh, hey there, Ted Bundy.
Yeah, right. What is going on here?
Has anyone ever died of embarrassment? I didn't know that was a thing until it happened to me, and I was very confused.
Oh, you're so lucky.
I think a while ago it happened. I haven't had it happen for a long time.
I would love to have an emotional death in The Sims, but I've never been able to do it except by cheating.
Yeah, I think I had I think they wet themselves, and then it was like a teen, and then they walked in on the parents woohooing, and then someone walked in on them in the shower, and then they just died.
I think my Sims are just too boring.
Yeah, I feel like it is true, different. I feel like I'll load one game and nothing happens, and then I'll load up another save and everything happens.
I wonder if there's something that happens when you start a new game and if it just locks in certain parameters of wackiness.
Yeah, this many Sims will randomly die, and it's very strange. But I do think there's certain ones that the death is too easy.
In Sims 1?
In any of them. So I do think in 4, say if they're outside in the freezing cold in normal clothes, they'll die within 2 minutes of gameplay, if that.
Yeah, it's really fast. I had somebody go to the gym, and somebody was chilled and walked into the gym and dropped dead. It was just an NPC.
Yeah, by the time I kind of pressed go here to get them inside, they died from the notification coming up. And I was like, are we in Antarctica?
Well, I wonder if they'll patch that. Like, it does seem like it happens really easy.
Yeah, one though. Sims 1, though it was a very stressful game, I feel like, looking back now, just because they didn't really have days of the week. So they would I just feel like you'd feed them and then they'd get hungry again within 2 minutes. Just, it felt very extreme.
It's like a pregnant sim, except they can't die.
Yeah, even though
my husband loves to joke that like you can make an army of pregnant sims and they could like take over the world because they can't die.
That is true. Like, they can get hit by lightning or satellites, and no matter how many times it happens when they're pregnant, not dying.
So we had big news from Maxis recently. They're going to be launching a new game pack or expansion pack in mid-November, called Get Famous. What do you guys think about that?
I'm okay with it, but I would have wanted some new content. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm gonna still buy it though, so.
Of course, we have to see what's in it.
I feel like, especially now we're doing the podcast, we have to have it.
Oh, so many good excuses. I might get off here and go
That's
buy
my excuse. Too. My boyfriend's like, why are you keep buying stuff? And I'm like, it's for the podcast. I'm doing research. Leave me alone.
That's my excuse to play Sims almost every night. I've got a podcast now.
Part of the job.
It's research.
Yeah, but I'm quite excited about it. The only, like, for example, like the only Sims 3 I have at the moment is the one which came with like the celebrity status. I can't remember which one that was, but I kind of really enjoyed that, so I'm quite looking forward to that. And I quite like the idea of being like a famous chef or a famous painter. And then I think they're going to bring in like a drama club for children. So yeah. I think it will be like interesting gameplay, and just some of the things look really interesting. However, I am annoyed that they seem to deceive us to do with the cars.
That was sad.
Yeah, that was a bit of a thing.
I think everyone online was like, no, you lied to us.
Maybe one day we can dream.
Oh, they have ghost cars, and they were building a garage in one of their videos this week.
I feel like maybe they're just messing with us, and once the thing comes out, you'll find the car and you're like, oh, we've been playing.
Yeah, or maybe it's something they're thinking about in like a few packs away or patches, because I do feel like they hinted at seasons quite a lot before they announced it.
Yeah, and they do have like one of the games the kids plays on the computer has a car, and it's like they're learning the alphabet or whatever.
Yeah, and then they're going to bring the patch that will stop them using the bathroom sink instead of the kitchen sink to clean up.
That would be great. I had a mod that did that, and it worked really well, but then I didn't feel like keeping up with patch updates, so I just uninstalled it and deal with it.
I don't know about you guys, but I do my cooking in my bathroom. So
oh, Mally, now the truth comes out.
I've been exposed.
Do you wash your dishes in the bathroom sink too?
No, in the bathtub. Just do it all together.
Oh, that is so efficient.
I will admit, when I lived at university, I was like in the downstairs, and the kitchen was upstairs, and the kitchen, I lived with like 11 people at one point, and the kitchen was tiny, and I would always eat in my bedroom, so it would kind of get to, I would finish eating, and I'm like, oh, can I be bothered to go upstairs? And there was a sink in our rooms, so I just used to wash everything up in the sink in my bedroom.
11 is too many. You're only allowed to have 8 in one household.
Yeah, 11 people in the sink. The kitchen, you literally couldn't have more than 2 people in it.
How do you fit 11 people?
I want to build this house in
house.
The Sims.
It was crazy.
That's the one part of the story we can't get over.
Well, yeah, and actually it was like The Sims, because it was one tiny kitchen and there was one bathroom, so it definitely felt like The Sims.
Oh my god, yeah. Well, we had one of our college dorm rooms had a sink but no bathroom, and the bathroom was like in the hall. So yeah, we did that too.
Yeah, so I would just wash everything up in my bedroom, which The Sims have not got that bad.
I've actually started, I've watched some YouTube videos and they didn't have a sink. And I was like, oh, I guess you don't really have to have a sink. So some of my houses now don't have sinks. They have like a dishwasher and a shower. And then it saves time when you're going to the bathroom because they don't go to the sink to wash their hands afterward.
Then, doesn't the hygiene come down quicker?
It might. It depends on the challenge I'm doing. Then I have another challenge going, the Apocalypse Challenge, where I just couldn't play by the rules. So I eventually added a shower in. But for a while, they only had the sink for hygiene, and it was a nightmare.
It's not good. But one of the debates we seem to be having on what they're bringing out is the split level.
Yeah, I couldn't figure that out from the notes. There's not a split level, but there's an example of a split level.
Yeah, unless it's just the foundations they're doing split levels and not rooms.
Maybe it'll change with the terrain update. because you know how you can move the sizes and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think they can add stairs to them, which is really dumb. I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds confusing. I miss ladders because I built the greatest tiny house in The Sims 3 using ladders, but they don't have them in The Sims 4.
Or spiral staircases.
I love the spiral staircases. They were my favorite.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, especially when you're trying, like, I feel like they fit, like, certain looks. Like, I feel like, say, you play, like, Don Lothario, I feel like, spiral staircase are very, like, bachelor pad.
I had this very big mansion, and at the top, it was like an open roof party kind of situation, and that was the perfect place for a spiral staircase.
But
The Sims
alas.
4 is over here killing our dreams.
Simultaneously killing and making our dreams come true.
Yeah, I can own a house in The Sims.
I know, right? In a future episode, we're going to be doing a deep dive into the Goths and a deeper discussion on building. And I think we're going to do a single parent challenge. Do you guys follow us on social media? Because you should. We're at Plumbob Podcast on Instagram and Twitter, and Under the Plumbob on Snapchat, Plumbob Podcast on Reddit, Under the Plumbob Podcast on Facebook and Tumblr. And we have a website. It's undertheplumbob.com. So we wanted to give a big shout out to our research team, which includes Rebecca, who's here with us today. Thank you, Becky.
It's fine. We keep on top of everything and try and give you too much information.
Excellent. There's got to be too much because The Sims has been going on for so long. It's crazy. Oh, yeah. And I wanted to do another shout out to the Simmerino's Facebook group, which brought us all together. And there was another mod in that group I hadn't mentioned yet, Madison Pension, and just thank them for keeping that group running and keeping it a good, positive community for Sims lovers.
Yeah, and also, if somehow we do get the Karen and Georgia from My Favorite Murder to Listen, Karen, you were recreated.
That's right. They did a big shout out to us, and Karen made fun of the way that her sim looked.
So yeah, she was recreated.
Yeah, it was one of the founders of that group, Jacqueline Leviton, who had made the original version and then redid Karen with some kick-ass bomb CC.
That's amazing.
I love it. I just love that we found so many Sims lovers and that we can just sit and talk about the game forever.
Yeah, and now I don't feel judged for killing all my Sims because we're all into true crime.
Exactly. It's kind of an anything goes environment. You know,
so yeah,
kill our Sims.
And since this episode is to do with death, it would be great if any listeners kind of want to send us any stories, pictures of weird deaths. We love hearing about them, and you never know, in the future we might read out some stories.
That's right. And if you've forgotten, our email address is undertheplumbob@gmail.com.
I would really like to see if someone can kill out their whole world. I'm here for it.
I'm going to try. I think that's like what I'm going to do with the rest of my weekend.
New game.
Is that it?
That's it.
I think that's it. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you'll share this podcast with a friend of yours who likes death and or The Sims. And now, back to the real world.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Under the Plumbob, the podcast about all things related to The Sims. We are Team Social Bunny, and we're kind of new here. We're going to come in probably a few times a month to bring the latest news and gossips about The Sims. So I'm Melissa. I've been on one episode of Team Llama previously. With me is Roxy and Caitlin. Roxy, you've been on the show before. Why don't you say hi?
Yeah, I'm Roxy. I'm on here like way too much. My latest episode, which you just heard, was the death episode or the Grim Reaper episode that we made for Halloween. And I'm on Team Llama.
Awesome. Caitlin, tell us a little bit about yourself.
This is my first podcast. I help run a couple of the social medias like the Reddit and the Tumblr for us. And I've been playing since I sold my sister's Sims 1 game before I got my own game. So I've been playing technically since Sims 1.
Sweet.
I like
Sims
it.
4.
Yes, sibling theft is highly encouraged on this podcast.
For some reason, she didn't catch The Sims as hard as I did, so I took it over.
There you go. Absolutely.
It is like a disease.
It is. We are all incredibly infected.
So infected.
I'm also real life infected this podcast because I'm dying from a undisclosed nasal / respiratory something. So please excuse the very adorable raspy tone to my voice.
'Tis the season.
Mm-hmm.
Tis. So we're going to go into this kind of the latest news that's going on with Maxis and EA, the games for The Sims. Obviously, Get Famous is coming up. Everyone's real hype about that. And if you have no money, like I do, you're also excited about the free updates that are coming in the November patch that's coming up around the 16th, is what the reports say. So, Caitlin, can you give us a little background info on what we can expect coming up?
Yeah, sure. There's this is actually going to be a pretty big patch coming to you. The first thing that you're going to notice when you go in, when it downloads, when you go back into your game, there's going to be a brand new tutorial, and you're going to be asked if you've played the game before or not, and you can actually opt out immediately of the tutorial if you don't want to see the new tutorial. So you can say no, yes or no. If you say no, I haven't played before, you can make a sim, and then you're going to be able to pick from 4 unique aspirations. I think it's like chef, painter, trendsetter, and athlete. And then you're going to be shifted into a house that you have a roommate already, and that roommate's name is Alex, and she's going to take you through how to basically use the game. There's also a new voiceover person, so you can hover over anything during the tutorial process, and you'll get a voiceover telling you what that is. And I have a theory about who this voice actress is because I listened to some recordings of it, and I think I know who that is.
Really?
There's a podcast called Two Dope Queens, and I binged through all of it a couple months ago, and I'm pretty sure it's Jessica Williams from Two Dope Queens.
What is Two Dope Queens about?
It's a stand-up comedy podcast.
Okay.
There's 2 hosts, and they introduce, and they tend to have a lot of, like, they're trying to have like female comics or people of color, like POC comics on there, and it's very upbeat, very lively. And Jessica Williams is one of the hosts. She's also going to be in the new Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them movie. And
okay.
She mentions a lot on Two Dope Queens that she loves playing Sims.
Well, there you go.
And in 2017, she actually visited Maxis and took over the Sims Twitter account. So I'm pretty positive it's her, like 98% sure.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Something only a podcast listener would know.
Okay, like, I know that voice. I know it from somewhere. It's haunted my dreams.
I love that.
Awesome, Caitlin.
I really like that. Yeah. I'm going to have to check that out. Two Dope Queens. Mm-hmm. And then who is she in Fantastic Beasts?
She's going to be the new, what's the American school? Ilvermorny? Yeah, she's going to be a professor there.
Ooh, I'm loving
cool.
this already. This hits like all corners of my fandom: comedy, Sims, Harry Potter. I'm hype right now. Yeah.
Yeah, Melissa's the one who made the burrow.
Yeah, she's had her picture taken with J.K. Rowling.
Oh my god, my dream.
The perks of being famous.
Yeah.
Seriously.
The burrow was really good. Your burrow.
Thank
looks so
you.
cozy.
I know. It makes me feel nice. And when it's winter and I'm playing, I'm going to be like, I mean, real life winter, not sim winter. When it's real life winter, oh God, I will be enjoying that very much. So that is a good baseline for what we can expect coming up. The tutorial, I love the idea. And correct me if I'm wrong, but once you're done with the tutorial, or if you skip the tutorial, there's just that new menu option that's like, what do you want to do? Play an existing household or go, create a new. Can I be the one to say that I'm really glad with that? Because like when I start a game, sometimes I'm just like, I want to start and I want to play a townie household. And there's no like quick way to do that, right?
No,
am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Because you have to like go in and create a new sim, and I just like random and like put them in the town somewhere, and then I have to go to like the Goths or whoever. So this seems like it's circumventing all of that, which is nice.
And you couldn't opt out of the Sims 4 tutorial before. When you first played it, you had to go through it.
Oh, fun.
You couldn't get out of it. But so now at any point during the tutorial, you can say, I'm done. Thank you. And leave.
Well, still, I mean, now all the hardcore people are going to be like, well, now I need to go through it anyway just to see, even though I have played 1,000,000 hours. So that's exciting. I'm most excited, I think, about the terrain tools.
Yes.
This was such a big I don't want to say miss, but like it was just so randomly not included in 4, whereas 3 we had all of this control over, I mean, there was a lot of world control in 3 in general, but now we have these terrain tools where we can have a non-flat lot. And personally, this is a real niche idea that I have, but if anybody is a fan of the show Parks and Recreation, I'm building the pit.
Nice.
I'm so excited. Like I have Pawnee almost built. I have all the people. I am building the pit and I'm really excited about it.
What world did you use? Like which town did you use for it?
I use Newcrest. Anytime I want to like build a new like theme world, like I throw everything into Newcrest because it's easier.
It's fair.
But yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that.
You're gonna have Andy live in a tent at the bottom of it?
It's possible. Right now, he's still with Anne because I'm starting season 1. But I'll move forward because everyone has like season 1 hair too, so that'll change and progress. I found the best cabin on the gallery for Ron Swanson, and I don't have it off the top of my head, but I will find that name and I will include it in the show notes of the shout out to who built that because it's gorge. So he has his own little remote cabin. But anyway, so yeah, we've got terrain tools, which I'm excited about for that very specific reason. We've got the new style influencer career that I'm thrilled about because I did a lot of playing of the, what was it, like fashion advisor career in 3. Did you guys play that?
I never got that far in 3, I don't think.
I think that came with a certain pack.
Yeah, I don't think I got it.
That rings a bell. Because I'm constantly making over people anyway, so that'll be a good one for me. I'm excited for anyone into that style of gameplay. Yeah, I also this is what new from the last kind of deep dive I did into this, but the custom career name. Sims will be able to register with the Ministry of Labor with their own career, and it'll come up on the job panel without new sort of interactions. But this, I think, gives you a lot of leeway as far as your own personal storytelling, which I love. I love this. Yeah. You can be your own work from home XYZ. So is this bubbling up any gameplay ideas for you guys?
Well, my confusion is like, it doesn't give you a salary, right? You still just have to go hustle and make your own money, right? It'd be cool if you could be like, I make this career and it makes this much money.
And I got promoted because I said so.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, they've been a little bit more fluid with careers. Like they added the gardener one, which is like, you do this interaction per day and get a stipend. So maybe it's the sort of thing where you can like build off an existing career track and have similar, I don't know. I might be giving too much credit.
Or if you're one of the people who own businesses, if you do that way, you can, I listened to something that was like, you could even put, if you're a stay-at-home mom, you can put mother there. Like, I'm a parent.
I know, but it's funny because they automatically come up as a stay-at-home parent if they have kids. But anyway.
Do they really?
Yeah. Because I've done things where I'm like, oh, he's a stay-at-home dad, which means he's unemployed. But that's cool. No shade on stay-at-home parents at all. That's how it comes through in the game.
Is that when you're playing a sim and trolling for zaddies and you meet the guy and you're like, hi, what do you do? It's like stay-at-home dad. It's like, damn it, he's married.
Or at least he has kids, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't mean he's married. It means he has a kid.
True.
And you can break that relationship up. So.
Because that's what we do.
Yeah, we're not always, child-friendly. Family-friendly.
No. No relationship will succeed.
We are life ruiners. We are homebreakers. But it's fine because it's all fake. All in simulation. So what I have next on this list is the world UI is changing, the user interface for choosing worlds. I appreciate this sort of adjustment. I like this sort of minutia of making it easier for users to access really anything in the game. The screenshot that they provide for, select a world to play in looks to me much nicer, first of all, because having to scroll through the big circles in the current game, I always thought that was clunky. Like, I guess maybe in the first couple games, but once they added enough so that it expanded past the the jump, the break, and the page. I'm like, why you do this? Just make them a different size. So now they're doing that. Not only is that better for my eyes and my heart, but it looks like there's just a lot of extra space for more worlds,
more places.
Yeah, and I don't know if I should read into that or anything, but
I would.
If
I looked at it like there's at least going to be 3 more worlds, because at least they should have 2 full lines. That's how I looked at it. It was like 3 more worlds, probably.
Please. Yes, please. I'm also seeing, the aspiration branches are now square rather than round.
Woohoo.
I'm really trying to think, can someone explain to me where that comes into play? Because I have no idea what that's talking about.
Okay, so when you did the knowledge aspiration, it would come up as a circle, like a clock face almost. And now they're just row of squares, which I think will actually, seems like that would be interesting when you add custom careers.
Oh, I see.
It might make it cleaner. Yeah.
Instead of it popping out as 2 little circles. I got it. I see what that means. Yeah. I think I agree that is likely done in mind with custom careers in mind, which is great because, I feel like a lot of what they're doing in 4 in general has the custom content in mind. There's that awareness of okay, this is how we have the game, but this is going to be added to. So therefore, we're going to make it a little bit more accessible for these add-ons. Does that ring true to you guys?
Yeah, I would say that it also explains the transparency about the fact that they're updating the Python version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was going to touch on next, because I'm still new to mods. Fellow podcaster Marissa is kind of the resident expert on all things mods, and she's introduced me a little bit. I did a little in 3. Now I'm sort of diving into, sort of the, item mods, clothing, accessories, all that.
Yeah, custom content. Well, the custom content should be fine. It's only the scripted mods. So I'll let you explain it.
Well, no, I mean, that's what I was going to kind of get into, because I've been staying away from diving into the script mods. That's more like behaviors and in-game gameplay, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. So I've been staying away from that because of this Python update. And for those of you living under a rock, this was announced in early October. There's going to be a new version of Python. The game was using Python 3.3.5, and it's going to be moving to Python 3.7.0. Basically, if you have script mods, they're going to break if you have them in game. So just, be aware of what you're using in your game. Know that you may need to go back and re-download and download the new versions, or just delete a bunch of stuff from your game. So be aware. All I know is your stuff's going to break. So I'm being aware of that.
That's about all I got about that. Yeah. It's I know your stuff won't work anymore. And it was nice that I gave them at least a month in advance. Be please update your stuff, everybody. You got some, we're going to do it. So please update.
Just another example of them being kind of conscious of, people are going to add stuff to this. So we want to be transparent. And I don't know, it keeps being really striking to me because of the attitude shift from back in Sims 2. It was do not add stuff to this. You may not add your custom content. We will be mad. And then 3, they sort of opened it up a little bit. I guess if you're going to do it, we're going to not make it break the game. And now it's yes, we're this beautiful collaborative community and we love everyone. So in my opinion, that's why not go that route? It's you're creating free content to make this game so much better. So,
and I'm going to be honest, the only reason that 12-year-old me learned how to up backwards computer stuff was because I was I really want this hair in this game, and I need to figure out how to put it in there. So that's the only reason I learned how to extract files and send them over there, and I can do it now without thinking. And Sims is the only reason I know how to. My basic computer knowledge came from my Sims game.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had gotten more of that out of my gameplay. I know a ton of people who like Roxy's beautiful child learned to, I assume, code and just created her own, what is it? A new recolor for a Sims hair.
Yeah, she took a mesh and then recolored it into a couple of different swatches that weren't already there. And I'm actually playing with it. It's the only piece of custom content in my game, and it looks pretty good.
Oh, And how old is she?
She's going to be 12 right around the time Get Famous comes out.
The children are our future.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really into all things gaming. She's dressing up as a video game character for Halloween, like one of those, like an Undertale character, if you know what that is.
Oh my god. That's what I'm saying. Like the children are already so much smarter than I was at that age.
She does.
And like that's amazing to me.
She's doing meshes, and I was like, I extracted a file when I was 12. So
I know, I don't even know how to do that. So woohoo. Speaking of new worlds, Get Famous is coming out on November 16th, and the new world in that pack is Del Sol Valley. Maxis just finished EA, I guess, finished its sim camp, where they invited their influencers, what do they call them? Game changers, to come and test out the new pack and do a little recording for showing to the fans out there. And those videos dropped this week. So there were a lot of reviews of Del Sol Valley. It has 3 neighborhoods, and it's pretty small as far as playable lots. It's got 6 residential lots, and then there's like a community lot that has like the clubs and stuff. They're pretty large lots because, this is supposed to be like the ritzy Ritz people having their mansions and what. So there's a 64 by 64 lot, 3 50 by 40 lots, and 2 40 by 30 lots. So I think the builders are going to have a field day with that.
For your fanciest legacies.
Right. Sim Guru Kate had watched a lot of negative feedback about the size of this world and spoke up to say, there's a lot going on under the hood with the engineering to make the game playable and not lag too much on your system, because I think they really want to make the game playable for average users, not just the people with super gaming PCs. And I think that makes a lot of sense, because I know you can disable packs and not have to have them all running at the same time, but it's so much easier to just leave everything up and running. That's what I do. And I've got like all of the expansion packs except for the new one because it's not out yet.
I mean, you pay the money for them. You might as well be able to access them at all times. I remember with 3, I was a little spoiled because my boyfriend's a computer guy and he was able to, I had the machinery to support the giant games, but when I had it on my laptop, it was like, I can sit here and play this, but it's going to burn a hole in my lap, in the pants of my lap. So I can't be on this for too long, or else I will start a fire.
I had to buy a fan to go underneath my laptop so I could play Sims 3. It was the only way to play it for more than an hour.
Yeah, when I play Sims 3, it's on a desktop, so I don't have that issue as much. And I only have 2 expansion packs for Sims 3 because I just didn't get to invest in that as much as I have in Sims 4. So yeah.
The only issue that's brought up with them saying that the small world is so the game works, the question that everyone's asking, does that mean that every single new world we're going to get is going to be this size? Are we going to not have any more big worlds, towns anymore? I
think that's a good question, but I'm not so concerned about it because I think you were discussing, might be before we were recording, that we're maybe going to get like at least 3 more worlds. And I don't know if we want to speculate on what those worlds might be. I think that we might get a beach vacation world because I know there was something like that in The Sims 3 and they didn't add any beach lots to this Del Sol Valley, which is on a beach. And I can't think why they wouldn't do that if they weren't going to add some kind of beach vacation pack.
Yeah. I mean, what was it, like Castaway Island or like Island Adventures?
I think it was Island Adventures.
Does that sound right? Yeah. I remember that being probably around the time when my game started really like slowing down. So it's, blah, 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 computer stuff that I don't know. I'm sure it's a big tax on your computer. It's a lot of content. It's a lot of processing, and it's a little silly to think about because it's a lot of processing for a game that lets you virtually do laundry, but still, this is what we love. So I understand where they're coming from. And it's going back to them being more transparent with the users and more, communicative with people who are playing the game. And I think that's great that they're making that consideration. But I also think it's a valid concern of like, great, a new world, 2 lots we get to play with. Like, is it, how much of a new world is that? It's like a new neighborhood barely. So I don't know. I think they're both things.
Yeah, I think it's
about.
A price point thing. Like you're paying $40, you're not getting necessarily $40 worth of world, but you're getting a lot of other things. Like there are so many new objects and stuff. I guess we could go into a few more of the details we know about the pack. We don't know everything yet. And of course, we're going to do a full episode review on Get Famous when it comes out. So stay tuned for that deliciousness. But there's 3 new lot traits. Celebrity Home, which is what it says pretty much. You'll get various game effects from that. Hottest spot in town and up and coming hotspot. And they all kind of affect the incidence of celebrities and other things related to that whole fame thing.
So the last time there was like a celebrity element was 3, right? And it was like your reputation.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Correct in that?
Yeah.
So that, I think when you got a certain amount of reputation, and it was not like a high amount, it was like maybe like a C-level celebrity or however they ranked it. Am I remembering this correctly in that there were paparazzi like just everywhere and following you, and it became a real pain in the neck?
Yeah, they did mention that it was too easy to get famous in the old pack.
So easy. Like, oh, I made 2 friends. I'm a C-level celebrity. So, I mean, that's just making me think of this, like the celebrity home thing listed on tours. I'm going to put money down that I will be annoyed at that trait.
Yeah.
Who are these people? Like, get off of my lawn. Like, the vampires are bad enough. Like, get out of here.
Well, if you're not famous enough, I guess you'll be seen as a poser if you have that trait. If you're not famous enough in that house.
Yeah.
That's kind of great.
So don't live there if you're not.
What does that mean?
Maybe people will throw vegetables at you.
What is that? Wait, can you plant them though?
No, I'm just joking. I haven't seen anyone do that.
Oh.
No, I love that idea.
Sounds like fun. Let's all be posers when this comes out.
Yeah. I'm going to try.
Poser celebrity, successful gardener.
Yeah, right?
Yes. That giant loft, that one in the city world. Shoot.
San Myshuno?
Yeah. The one place that's just like it's really, you just own the apartment building. I'm like, I'm going to give you guys the celebrity lot trait.
Yeah.
That's the only lot that I think I'm going to give it to.
Let's see. So fame isn't really, it's not that fame's hard to get, but because there's a lot of interactions that will be marked that you can gain fame by doing them, but you won't get them just by talking to a celebrity, which I think was the issue in Sims 3. There's 2 new aspirations. You can aspire to be a world famous celebrity, or you can aspire to be a master actor or actress.
Love it.
Is a new trait called self-absorbed, which I can see coming in handy a lot even outside of the fame area. Because I don't know, lots of people are self-absorbed. It could be a fun trait.
Don Lothario.
Any of the land grabs.
All the Calientes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right before we recorded this, I was watching a Sims community video about new objects. And I also watched Iron Seagull's video about some of the gameplay stuff. So I'd already seen the money vault, but the money vault is pretty cool. You can literally take money out of your household funds and store it in the money vault. And if you put in something like minimum 10,000, maximum 160,000, I'm not sure, but somewhere in that range, it builds a pile big enough to do things in, like sleep and play with, and everybody's favorite woohoo.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. So
yes.
I'm assuming it like.
And they even reference DuckTales in the name of the object and the description.
Scrooge McDuck. Perfect.
There's 2 ways to do it. There's like an actual like closet like money vault that you can have, and there's also a set of doors, so you could make a whole room that's like your museum, whatever, panic room.
Nice.
And you can lock Sims in there, because I always look for the death angle.
Always.
And they even said, I think it was Simguru Ninja told Iron Seagull that you actually will expire faster in the vault because they wanted to simulate running out of air. I'm like, that is so accurate. Epic. Thank you.
Boy, do they know their audience.
Oh, at least me.
I like the idea of simoleons being a physical object, because that's never really been an idea before other than the money tree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't even gotten to the money tree yet. I should do that.
Is that in for?
Yeah, they just added it. I think it was in the patch earlier this year, it's a new aspiration reward. It's really far down on the list, but you can get the money tree and plant it. And I've seen somebody plant it, but it takes a really long time to grow. So I've never seen it actually in action.
Sure. As do annuities and other investments. Long time to grow. True to life.
5,000 points is what you need for it.
There you go.
Aspiration.
There's another object coming up that's in this pack called it's the koi pond. So, you add it to your landscaping. It's all this ritzy, fitsy fish pond, but you can stock it not only with koi, but other things like sprites, piranha, and sharks. And it all comes with a level of risk, or at least those three do, where if you get into the koi pond with the sprites, the piranha, or the sharks, or possibly other fish, I don't know, you might die.
Oh my God, my evil villain sim. I'm building it in my head already.
These are the objects I have to highlight because we just did our Halloween episode, and I love new deaths.
So anyone not familiar with other podcasts, the reason that everyone who is involved in this show is doing this show is because we are all fans of a podcast called My Favorite Murder. It tells the stories of, murders and, kind of real life true crime. There's a good chance anyone you will talk to who does this podcast is also kind of weird and messed up in the head and likes murder things. So, you'll know that from the death episode. So that's what we're about.
Who said it in episode, I think it was episode 2, they were like, if you say you haven't killed somebody on purpose in this game, you're probably lying.
Liars.
At least wants to be like, I just want to see what it does. I just want to see what it looks like.
Perfect.
It's definitely true for me. My daughter actually doesn't like to kill Sims, which is hilarious.
She'll learn.
Yes, the baby. As we say on MFM, such a sweet baby angle.
Mm-hmm. I think there were a few other little news items we were going to round up for the audience.
Yeah, so it's just around Halloween time. There is currently a Halloween event happening on Sims Mobile. There is a way that you can unlock candy corn by doing certain social interactions. And you can get some Halloween decor and items, all kinds of goodies for the trick-or-treaters. It's also time now. Game Changer applications are open once again. Basically, there's an open call from the game creators, EA, Maxis, looking for prolific simmers in the world of YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, looking for content creators who love The Sims. Applications are open through November 9th. You must be at least 18 to apply. And this is such a great idea for someone who loves The Sims, creates content, does this as a fun thing, a creative outlet. Because really, when you think about it, there's not really any other ready-made utilization in the world where people are like, yes, tell me about your Sims. This is that thing. So sign up for it if that suits you. We also just listened to another podcast called Reply All, episode 139. The title is Autumn. And they do this sort of a really nice tribute to The Sims, talking about a story about someone who plays The Sims, who, uses it to cope with real life grief and other experiences. And we sort of tongue in cheek when we sign off say, and now back to the real world. But I think anyone who has ever played The Sims can relate to sort of using it as a little bit of escapism and just a nice way to not deal with the real world and get into your own world. And that's one of the reasons that I love it anyway. So
absolutely. Me too.
I'm excited to listen to it. I'm like 4 episodes behind on Reply All, so I'm really excited to get to it.
It's a really good one. So I encourage everyone to check it out. Last little bit of sort of speculation news. So in one of the latest Maxis monthly live streams, they were going over some of the new treats that we'll be getting in the upcoming patch. There's a little Easter egg that some eagle-eyed simmers pointed out. Top left-hand corner, there's something called the Positivity Challenge. And that looks to me like some of the other challenges we've had in the past, sort of a Jasmine Holiday type of limited engagement style gameplay. My guess is that just in true, be nice to all people theme, which I don't know. I think we need more of that in the world. It's probably something to do with like positive interactions in the game. And if you can get a certain number, then you you win or receive some good reinforcement. Again, I think we all need that in the world.
I think they did one over the summer, but it was like you just get a bonus on certain interactions.
I like it.
For like a week in game. It was kind of wacky, but it was cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
So, and shout out to everyone who kind of saw that. The source that we are using is Sims Community, the site by Jovan Jovic or Jovan Jovic, not sure. But that's a lot where we get a lot of our news, and he or his compatriots pointed out that there is a little something going on that we can look forward to. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, the link will be in our show notes.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. If you want to find us, we've already said this on the other piece of the program, but just in case you want to hear it again, we're on Instagram and Twitter as PlumBobcast, on Reddit as PlumBob Podcast, and on Facebook and Tumblr as Under the PlumBob Podcast. And the website is undertheplumbob.com. So I guess that's it for our little news date update. And we appreciate you hanging in and sticking with us for another little segment today. And I guess we have to go back to the real world again.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
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 My cat took what must have been like a monster poop, and it smells so bad in here. So that's a little TMI, but it is. I'm like looking at her like, what did you do? What did you do?
Badish. Dag dag.